Welcome in to Small Biz Power, our show on Facebook Live, and now we are on iTunes and Stitcher. I'm your host for the evening. My name is Nina Radetich, and I'm the owner of Radetich Marketing and Media, and we are so glad that you have joined us tonight. If you are thinking about leaving your job and pursuing a life of entrepreneurship, and you have a passion that you're really excited to follow, tonight's show is for you. I'm really excited to introduce you to our guest in a little bit, but first, we are going to start with a digital marketing tip. And as a reminder, Small Biz Power is where small business owners and entrepreneurs go to power up their business and their life. So you have come to the right place, and we've got some fun tonight. It's a water night, though. I just wanted to point that out. Normally it's a wine night, but we have decided that it is a water night tonight. There's no real reason for that. It just felt like a water night as opposed to a wine night. I've been talking to a lot of business owners as of late who are just completely frustrated and frazzled with the whole digital marketing thing. They're frustrated either because they're just not seeing results from whatever campaign they're doing, or they expected a different outcome and were told they didn't even know what to expect, really. And so they're just kind of waiting and wondering, when is something going to be happening as a result of the work I'm doing, or an agency's doing, or my brother's cousin in his basement is doing for my web presence? So I've been talking to a lot of business owners who are they've really just frankly had it. And they're confused also because they know that they need digital marketing and an online presence and internet marketing for the growth of their business and for the long-term success of their business. But frankly, they don't really know where to start. They decide it's not working at some point, and then they say, you know what, I'm gonna maybe look into having an agency handle this, or maybe they already have an agency handling it and they're not happy with what's going on there, so they go shopping. But then they go shopping and they get further confused because agencies come in, or the guy in the basement comes in and says, I can do this for you, and I can do this, and this, and it's going to cost this. And they're really speaking Greek to them. The proposals have words like on-page SEO and title tags and structured data, and business owners are like, what? I don't understand this at all. I just wanted to tell you that you're not alone. If you are feeling that way, there is some help for you. And I wanted to tell you about something that we can do. It's called the Total Online Presence Audit. It's a way to sort of wade through all this internet gobbledygook and the tech speak and really get a clear picture of where your business is online, how your competitors stack up, and what potential opportunities are out there for you to pursue. Because even though the internet is a very crowded space right now, there are still plenty of opportunities for you and your business. What the Total Online Presence Audit does is a deep dive into your online presence. So we'll go under the hood on your website, we'll find out how your website is performing, and review it and look at your current search engine optimization as well. We'll take a look at how you're being found online for certain keywords when people go Googling for a keyword that would be related to your business, and we'll look for more opportunities for you, some that you may not even know about or are missing. We'll review your online content, including your website content, your social media content, but the best part is we do this all with context. So we will look at 3 of your closest competitors, so you'll see how you stack up compared to them. From there, we present our findings to you in what I call plain English, in layman's terms, in non-techie terms, so that you'll understand sort of how this fits into the bigger picture of your business versus, just saying, oh, we're going to do some SEO, we're going to do some citations, we're going to do some backlinks. None of that matters to, I think, the business owner unless they know how it plays into the big picture. So what we'll do is we'll give you a plan of action to not only improve your website, but also its ability to turn leads into customers. We'll make suggestions on how to improve your business's ability to show up when someone puts in a keyword on Google, and we'll help you figure out a way to entice more positive online reviews, because those are very important nowadays, and enhance your social media. So again, this is called the Total Online Presence Audit. And you can go to this website, ninaradetich.com/online-presence-audit. Extremely helpful for really determining how to approach internet marketing for your business with an effective plan, because employing tactics without a strategy to me is just a complete waste of time and money, and nobody wants to do that. So again, if you're interested, go to that webpage we mentioned. I'll put it in a link in the comments later on, and then in the show notes when it goes up online, and we will get you on the right path to marketing success. So that's your digital tip to start out Small Biz Power on this Wednesday evening. It's a hot Wednesday evening. It's like 92 degrees here in Las Vegas when I parked the car this evening. So I hope you guys are all staying cool. Again, water instead of wine, maybe just because of the fact that it's a little bit hotter than normal outside. I think that success, and I mentioned online success, but I think success overall in business is something that we are all after. And my guest tonight knows that better than most. I'm really thrilled to introduce you to Galit Ventura-Rozen. She is a women's empowerment and business mentor, and she works with women who want to make the leap from employee to entrepreneur, right? To do what they love, or to take their current passion business to the next level. Galit, so nice to be with you tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's so much fun that the tables are turned a little bit.
Yes,
right?
because you've been interviewing
people. I've interviewed so many people, so it's kind of fun for me. Thank you so much for having me.
It's funny, we sort of met through an online contact.
We did.
Even though we're both here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
You've lived here for the better part of 30 years now. This town has changed so much since you've been here.
So much. I remember driving from one side of town to the other side of town in 15 minutes.
Unbelievable.
When I was 16 and I got my license.
Yeah.
Remember that? You get in the car, there was one light.
Amazing. How do you think the business climate has changed in those 30 years? I mean, part of that was spent when you were in high school, so it's different. But
I was pretty much born and raised around business because my father's been an entrepreneur since he was in his 30s. And so I've always seen it. So even when I was in high school, I was around, or I was trying to work at his office or learn. So it was something that I always saw. I do have to say that what I see in Las Vegas, and I went through some of the hardest times. We had a recession, if you remember, 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I went through that recession in my business. And it was interesting because pretty much all we did at that time was just try to save everything, which thankfully we were capable of doing that for all of our owners at the time. But I think Las Vegas is so unique in business because of the tourist end. And because of the tourist side that we have, even though in those recessions and so on and so forth, I don't believe we were still as affected as some other cities.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of people thought the opposite, that we were really affected because not many people were coming from the tourist side.
I felt that even though we were going through what we were going through during the recession period, and yes, it was a struggle, I still felt like the city was still standing on its ground. Maybe we weren't hitting the percentages that we're used to and accustomed to, but we were still seeing the tourists because remember, we get so many tourists from other countries. So our American tourism at the time wasn't doing as well, but we were still getting the international tourism because the prices were so low.
Right.
So anyway, just a little tidbit.
That's an interesting perspective, though, and you have an interesting perspective because you have been on the commercial real estate side of things, and you've recently sort of made, because this is recent, your coaching business, right? And you've made a transition from taking all of that business acumen that you have honed over the last 20 years or so, and brought it into helping women who want to grow their business or take a passion and turn it into a business. Why did you decide that it was important to focus on women?
It's so funny because I think it was just something I knew. So if you really, a lot of times when I talk to women, and I do these discovery calls for 30 minutes for free just to try to give them some kind of direction, they'll say to me, I don't know what I'm passionate about. Now, a lot of times with online...
I've said that. That's funny.
Nina,
it's funny that you say that.
So you'll love this.
Yeah.
You'll love this perspective.
Yeah.
So with Facebook today, we connect with people before they even reach out. And most of these women reach out to me. I'm not out there, hey, talk to me. And they'll say, I want to know what I'm passionate about. And I almost giggle because I already know what they're passionate about just from watching them on Facebook. And it's so funny because it's the thing they're posting about the most. It's the thing that they talk about the most. And I'm not talking about children and our loved ones.
Right.
We do that
We're all passionate about that.
So for example, if it's a woman that reaches out and she says, I don't know what I'm passionate about, but I'm tired of working in this job. I say, well, what do you post about the most? And I already know her weight loss, her nutrition, what she eats, her meal plans. So she finally gets it. Or another woman will say, well, I love personal training, but how would I turn that into a business? And one of my biggest issues, or not issues, but the number one thing that women come to me with is the how. how do I do it? You have this idea, you have this passion for something, and you don't know how to. So we first figure out what they're passionate about, which typically is really simple. And I read something amazing the other day that I want to share with you, Nina. Have you heard of the book, The War of Art?
I read The War of Art.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I love that book.
What he's saying there about, do you recall what he said
It's been a while
about?
since I've read it.
It's okay. I just revisited it and I watched him on Oprah. He says in that book and in his interview, he says the thing that you're most scared of is typically your calling.
Yeah. Isn't that the most powerful phrase?
Oh, I get chills every time I say that. And I won't take credit for it because it's his.
Yeah.
But that's really the truth. So what happens is...
Wait, so what are you scared of? What are you most scared of?
Okay, so it's so interesting.
You walked into that one, Galit.
But I knew. So I thought of that.
Yeah.
So I actually stepped back when I read that and I said, am I scared of something? Because I really have worked hard, and that's what goes into the mindset part. So normally what happens is the woman that isn't doing what she loves yet, that hasn't found her passion, isn't doing it because of the fear, because of the self-doubt, because she doesn't believe in herself. So what I feel like with me is I stepped into my passion with such open arms and belief that that's what I was meant to do, that I just keep knocking down the fear. So if you ask me what I can't honestly answer that because I think I've worked so hard on the mindset piece. And that's what I work with my clients on.
Did you work on the mindset piece right out of the gate? Was that something that came natural to you? Because I don't think it comes natural to all women.
I think because...
And men too. I mean, I'm not leaving them out.
I know, and I always say that. I love men. It's just I've chosen to focus on women in my business. I think for me, to be very honest, where I'm a little more unique is that I've been an entrepreneur since I was 21 years old. So a lot of women are coming in their 30s and 40s and trying to decide what they want to do with their life for their second career or what they love. And I think for me, because I had a chance to work through all that in my business. So if a fear popped up because I was, instead of selling a $500,000 building, now I'm selling a $10 million building, I had to work through that mindset while I was doing the deal. So that's where I think I'm a little bit more unique.
Because you started as an entrepreneur as opposed to making a leap when you were like me, I was 40. Right? So you're making a complete change from what you've done. At least, you know, I had done television news for 20 years. It was what I knew. It was what I knew I was good at. And it was, the time had come for me to make the change. And the last 5 years have been the biggest growth years by far of my career.
Oh, and I love that. That is truly my passion. To hear women say what you say. And I feel bad sometimes because I almost make every woman cry. And I don't make her cry, but she starts talking about what she loves. And then she'll start crying. And I say, see? And it doesn't mean you have to cry if you find what you're passionate about. Not all women do. But the majority that I speak to, the second that the tears start, I say, that's it. It's tied to emotion.
Let me play devil's advocate for
a minute. Go ahead.
You knew I had
go
to.
ahead. You have fun. So, I'm giving you open forum today.
You are so great at responding to this stuff. I know. Sorry, Galit. Galit interviewed me for part of her series. We'll talk about that at the end of the program. But there are a lot of people who say that you cannot that you should not focus on your passion for a business, that is actually detrimental. I mean, that you should be passionate about your business, but that you should not necessarily focus on your passion as the money-making piece of your business.
Oh, and I so disagree with that.
Do you?
I don't think that at all. And the women that I look up to, the women that have been in the types of businesses that I coach people in for years and years, and they're so successful. And it's not just the piece of, I truly believe that if you do what you love, the money's a bonus. Now, don't get me wrong. I teach women not to do what they love for free, because a lot of the women that come to me, they've been doing that for free for years. So you said to me, how did you get into women empowerment and business coaching? The honest answer, Nina, is I've been doing it my whole life. I just never got paid for it. I've had 7 or 8 girls that I've mentored at my business, that I've raised and let them fly into success. I've just always done it. I've mentored in young leadership and in schools, but I never did it. But that was always my passion. So I disagree with that, because I feel like all those women out there that hate their jobs, that go and build somebody else's dreams, that are replaceable. Do you know how many women I've had come to me? And I don't work with women to quit their jobs. I work with them to set a goal. Set a goal that you want to come to this income so you can support your family, because you have to have an income. and work on your business as well as keep your job, knowing that there's an end result here. Okay, so these women hate their jobs.
So it's not about just taking the leap and going, oh, follow
well,
your passion, it'll be
that
fun,
to
and the
me
money
is
will
a
come.
leap.
Right.
That to me is a leap.
Yeah.
A woman that is willing to start working on what she loves to do, as well as still be in her job, for me is a leap, because if you really think about it, so many people don't ever do that. They know they want more. They know that they're meant for more. And I just work from passion. So when I hear somebody say that about passion, I disagree. I believe that if you do what you love every day, you will be so successful because it doesn't feel like work.
Ruth Furman just joined. She's a good friend, and as she says, "Do what you love is such amazing permission to soar and shine brighter." She says, "Thank you." I also want to say hi to Justin and Brenda Sturgis. They're watching from their palapa. They have a palapa. It's like they can put their feet in the sand in their backyard. They're up in the Sacramento area.
That's
so.
awesome.
I'm glad you guys are watching and enjoying. You're probably enjoying a beverage out in the palapa, aren't you? Huh? And then Tammy had a question about digital marketing. And Melissa Marich is here. She's always here. We love it. Thanks, you guys, for joining. And there's Liz Colosimo. She's here as well. So a lot of people are interested in what you have to say, Galit. I love it. What would you say is the advice you give most women on the how piece? You said that's the thing that you work with women most on, the how to make this happen, or how to take your passion business to the next level.
So you have two different things going on. You have the women that are doing what they love, but they're not making a living at it. So they're doing it part-time as well as doing their regular job without an end goal in mind. Because really they want to stop doing their regular job.
Right.
Okay? And then the women that just don't know how to turn it. And I hold workshops in Las Vegas. You know how much I love Las Vegas. And these women, they come only because of the how. And of course there's the mindset piece that I know we'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
So my advice to anyone that's watching would be, you need to recognize that there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. I was taught that by my entrepreneurial dad when I was young. Do not reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
There are tools out there. There are people out there that have been where you want to go. Even those that are successful, even those that are building themselves, we find people as well as I.
You gotta find your tribe.
My team.
Yeah.
I call it Team Galit, but it's a tribe. I call it Team Galit. I have Team Galit.
Yeah.
I can't do everything. I can't know everything. I have some amazing people that guide me and support me. And so I know what I know, but they know what they know. And now look, I've got double the tools.
And because you've made a pivot in your own business, coming from commercial real estate and transitioning into coaching.
Yes.
So what have you learned along the way that you were able to then impart to your clients?
Absolutely. So more than anything, any woman that wants to do this needs to recognize that first she really needs to love what she wants to do. Because I believe that you will not be driven to work hard. And I say work hard very loosely because I don't believe I work hard.
Yeah.
A lot of people say to me, you seem so busy. And I giggle. And I get that all the time. Luncheon yesterday, 200 women, fundraiser. You seem so busy. I said, actually, I'm focused. I'm not busy. I still have time for my children. I'm a single mother of 3. I still have time for my charity events, my organizations. I still have time to go on vacation at least once a month. So I think my piece of advice for the how would be, first and foremost, please reach out to somebody or find the tools that can show you. But the first step, and I'm going to share a secret with you, the first step that I share with any new client is they've got to have a vision. Have to have a vision. I'm such a visionary, and I need the client to see the vision as I do, because it doesn't matter if I see it for you.
Right.
And I always see
It has to be
the
your vision, right? It has to be your vision.
Yes.
Yeah, they
So
have to buy
first
in.
you got to recognize, do I believe that I can do this? Forget the how. People stop at the believe because they want to know the how. Let go of the how. Think about, do I believe? And start believing. And if you don't, find people that will believe for you till you can believe.
And that's the beginning. That's the chipping away at
Yes.
the mindset piece,
Yes.
right? Tammy Belt actually is here. Hey, Tammy, it's good to see you. And she says, when you've successfully given it away for free for years, how do you turn that into a profitable venture?
Oh my gosh.
Great question, right?
Was that Tammy that
Yes.
asked? Okay, so Tammy, this is what I need to say to you. That is one of the pieces that I work on with my clients because they have to recognize their value. And that has been something that I've had to do myself too. I'm going to be really honest. I don't know how else to be but genuine. When you sell
It's hard.
When you sell buildings,
Yeah.
And you're making so much money. I was selling $50 million buildings, $10 million. You know, it's a lot of money in commercial real estate.
Yeah.
Making 6 figures a year. I didn't have to find my value.
Yes.
I had to find the value in the numbers.
Yes.
Here's the numbers, yes or no.
Yes.
So what you
So different.
Yes.
Right? When you're selling yourself and your services. Yeah.
So I think that feeds into the mindset piece. If you don't believe what you're worth,
Yes.
you will not be able to charge what you're worth or get paid what you're worth. And that's where the pieces come with the women or the men or whoever, the groups, whatever you choose to do. You have to find those people that can show you how to find value in yourself. You have to. But one of the first ways to start finding value in yourself is to recognize there is a dollar figure attached. And there are other people out there charging for what you give for free. So find them first. Research them. Find them.
Do you find that once people work through the mindset piece that the how just becomes simple?
No, I believe that there's 2 pieces to being successful. I believe there's the mindset and I believe there's the tools. So if you have the mindset, but you have no clue how to turn your business into a successful business, which is the tools, you spoke about them.
Yeah.
What you offer is amazing.
Thank you.
Because today, and you have to have a social media presence. You shouldn't even start a business unless you have a website and a Facebook business page and so on.
And you
so
have
forth.
to accept that it's part of what you have to do.
Yes.
You have to accept that, and a lot of people are like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing so. You know, they're very resistant to it.
You're not considered
Sorry,
credible.
it's just part of what you got to do.
Even if no one ever goes to your website, which we don't want that, you have to have it for credibility.
What do you think is the best part about working with other women and watching them succeed?
I get paid to see people conquer their fears and live their dreams. And I don't just teach women how to live their dreams and be successful and make money at it. I also teach them how to have a lifestyle that has freedom associated in it. Now, for every woman, that's different. I say to you, hey, you want to work 60 hours? Go. You want to work 3 days a week because you want to be home with your babies? Go. You decide.
Yeah.
But you want to build into, from the beginning, that vision shouldn't just be, I want to make $1 million and have thousands of clients.
Right.
It should also fit all the pieces of your life.
And the lifestyle thing is what a lot of women are after now, because you can have a business from home with a computer fairly simply. Do you find that those people are working way harder than they should be working?
Do you mean the women that are working from home? I don't know if they are, because that's like a general statement
Very
for
general,
all
yeah.
women. But I would say that I think that there's a way to work less. A lot of women are control freaks. It's in our nature.
Yes.
Talking about changing mindset,
Right.
trying not to be a control freak,
Right.
and saying, okay, I've got a virtual assistant. Okay, I've got a marketing person. Okay. Those are hard things for us to do because we want to control all the pieces. What we don't recognize is the second that we let go, we're doubling and tripling our income. And now we have more freedom. So a lot of women, they're choosing to do everything themselves. So that's probably why they're working hard. And they're not recognizing you have to invest in your business. If you are your business, you still have to have money to invest in it.
It's true.
The social media aspect, the marketing aspect, the website, the ads, whatever. So that's probably the how part that a lot of people don't understand. So they're trying it on their own and not recognizing there's so many pieces they don't know how to do.
Because these businesses are so focused on the owner themselves.
Yes.
Do you recommend that they scale by hiring other, say if they're a coach, hiring other coaches or hiring people under them? Do you recommend that model, or do you teach them how to figure out how to be a one-woman show?
That would truly be up to them.
Yeah.
So my vision is theirs. So I'll have multiple visions for my client and think, hey, where are you looking to go? But I listen. I love listening. That comes from my master's degree in therapy. And I love
That's helpful for
yes,
coaching,
that's the
yes,
mindset
right.
stuff. So I listen to what they want. Do I believe that you can have a multi-million-dollar company surrounded around your brand? Absolutely. You can have coaches, you can have assistants, you can have sales managers. There's never ending to it. I have girlfriends that are making over $1 million just around their brand a year.
Good for them.
Because, and more.
Yeah.
Because they recognize to build an empire, they must have a team. If you want to be, again, if you're, as a woman, if your goal is, I want to work 3 days a week and I want to make 5 figures a month and be home with my babies, then you can do it on your own. But I still recommend And what I do is I recommend, when we start looking at delegating, Nina, I look at what do you hate doing the most?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I've made many a list. That's how I delegate. I'm like, let's see, what do I hate? So then I start writing, and I'm like, okay, I can get somebody to do that, right? It's hard though, because you always have to take somewhat of a little step back in order to move forward, and sometimes that can be very scary.
But those are the pieces that are not letting you get to that income that you desire, because you are spending your time where it's not most valuable.
Yep.
So if you're making the most impact by working directly with clients in your marketing, and you're sending out emails and typing up letters, you're not spending the time that's going to result into income for your company.
To move the needle.
Yes.
Exactly. Krista Eagleton is here. Krista, thanks for joining us. And she says finding team members who share the same mindset is definitely challenging.
Yes, and so you need to let go a little bit of that control. I recognize that as myself because I have a team, and there will never be another Galit, but that's what makes each of us unique, and that's why people hire us.
Yeah.
So my recommendation is a lot of deep breaths and some task software, which delegates tasks and makes it very clear what you're looking for, but please be aware that you may have to go back 2 or 3 times, and that's because they're not you. But when you see the result that comes from that, then now you get to go to your daughter's breakfast at school for Mother's Day, or go to San Diego for a week, it is worth giving up some of that control.
And if it's not perfect,
you take a deep breath.
It's all going to be
I'm very big about deep breaths.
Yes.
I meditate, so lots of deep breaths all the time.
Funny. What would you say is the best way to stand out as a coach? With social media, the coaching niche has really exploded over the last several years.
Absolutely.
And so you're up against, I'm just talking about your personal business.
Okay.
How do you stand out from the crowd? There are a lot of people who are trying to do what you're doing.
Okay, so
there's only one Galit, I know that.
So one of the, I'm giving you guys all the stuff that I do with my clients and in my workshop. So one of the things that I ask my clients to do is, okay, first we figure out what they're passionate about, what is it they want to focus on, and then we send them out and say, do some research on the top 5 people in your field. And I say, and please don't allow that to scare you, right, Nina?
Yeah.
They come back to me terrified.
Right.
And I say, okay, wait, how many of you are there? 1. Are you unique in your way? Yes. Are you going to attract the same clients as everybody else? No. And how many clients do you think you can handle?
Yeah.
So we need to recognize there's enough out there in every field, and that's probably why I'm so big about supporting women and uplifting them in everything that I do.
Right.
Because this cutthroat competitive end, it's not realistic. There's enough business for all of us. There's enough.
It's a good thing to remember. It's not always easy when you're looking directly
But that's the
at the
fear
competition.
factor.
Well,
That's
and
the fear piece,
yes.
Nina. I'm not good enough. I'm not going to be successful. They're better than me. How can I ever be like them? Stop comparing yourself to other people. You are building your own niche.
Of course, in the age of social media, it is more difficult than ever, I think, to get over that hump because
it's right in your face
all the time.
Oh my God, it's in my face every day.
Yes.
I know it's in my face.
Yeah.
But I have chosen not to compare myself to other people and recognize they're a year ahead of me, they're 10 years ahead of me, they're 5. They're doing something their style is different. I'm very conservative, very straightforward. Other people are more in your face. They're not going to work with me if they need someone to be in their face.
Yeah.
So you would just have to recognize there's a market for you as well.
Be where you are.
And be you.
And embrace that.
Just embrace you and be your unique self. And for me, it's being genuine and authentic every day of the week. You get me so dang raw. When I'm having a bad day on that Facebook Live, you know I'm having a bad day. I don't fake this perfect life. You get my good and my bad. I teach you through my bad. Sometimes I'll have a bad morning. Everything will go wrong. The computer won't work, nothing. I hop on. I haven't even figured out the computer because I want people to recognize there are other people out there like them that get frustrated and whatever.
Liz says that Galit is fully inspiring.
Aw, thanks, Liz.
Liz has 3 kids, so and she's back in Buffalo, right, Liz?
Thank you.
Remind me in the comments. Post.
That's my
I think you're in
bonus.
Buffalo.
That's definitely my bonus piece in this.
Yes.
When we choose to do this as women, we choose to do it because what I get out of it, and you asked me that, is I get out of it to see women succeed, break through their barriers. And then the bonus piece is people say you inspire, and I'm like, thank you. I just want to see you live the life that you deserve. We only have one. I don't know what happens after we leave here. So we got one, and you spend your whole life in fear, and you spend your whole life allowing fear and resistance from stopping you to have everything you want. fear and resistance.
I know.
An emotion that hasn't even existed yet because it hasn't even happened
Right.
yet, right?
Yeah. What a waste of time that is.
But it's not easy to get over.
It's not. It's not. I mean, and we talk about it on this show. I have dealt with plenty of fear, and never in my previous professional life, it felt so different in this side of my professional life than it did there. I mean, there was plenty of fear, you know, when I first went on the air in Bakersfield in 1996 or whatever. You know, they sent me out to do a live shot, and I'm 24 years old, right? And I have no idea what to say. There was plenty of fear there.
Of course.
But I grew, and you know, I stuck with the craft. This is different. It felt less personal. I don't know what it was, and I think that's what a lot of women, and maybe men, they just don't talk about it, but that's what a lot of us deal with.
Yes.
And getting over that is a really difficult thing.
Absolutely. And one of the pieces that people don't recognize is a lot of people just allow fear to stop them. And they don't recognize that even those that are successful, every time we get to a new level, there's a new set of circumstances that try to stop us. And we just got to keep fighting. And I do this. We got to keep fighting through that ceiling into the next level. So it's not that it ever goes away. I just think we get better at knowing it's coming. We're prepared and we're ready to handle it.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. You just get a better coping mechanism, don't you?
Yes,
And you get that armor shined up a little bit better each time. You are a mom of 3.
I am.
How do you balance that? I know you mentioned that you still have time for everything, but how do you balance that? And how do you comfortably grow a business if you are at all concerned, and a lot of women, I think, deal with this, if you're concerned about, will this take time away from my family? And I think that can put some blocks from a mindset perspective in place when you're trying to grow your business. I deal with this because I'm like, well, how will this affect my family if I take on this very large client? You know, is it going to take time away from my precious little boy? So how do you handle that, and how do you advise clients?
So working for myself and owning my own company since the age of 21, I have to tell you that I chose my children first. And there were days where I would get told by the community. I was in a field at the time that was largely male-driven, and the average age was 40. I was 24 years old. I spent my days proving myself to people. All my clients were men, and so that's the first piece. But I recognized that I wanted to be home on Saturdays and Sundays. So I chose a field that allowed it. So again, it goes back to that piece that I chose a field. I never wanted to work for somebody. I didn't want someone telling me when my daughter's sick I couldn't work from home. I set up a business around my lifestyle. So my answer to the question regarding me is I chose to build my business around my children because they were most important. I always picked them up from school. I was always home when they were sick. Till today. My daughter's sick, I work from home. I've built my business around my children. Occasionally you got to leave, you get someone to stay with them, it happens. So the answer to the second question, what do you do if a big client shows up, is you check yourself and you see if it, and I'm sorry I'm going there, it feels good. Does it feel good going with this client, or is it the money? Because I'm telling you right now, if it doesn't feel good, I don't care how much money you make, it's not going to feel good to get that money. Go and build a business around your life, which is possible, and then still make a lot of money being happy because you're home with your children.
Gut check yourself, huh? It's a simple gut check. You recently launched an interview series where you interviewed 20
women.
20
from
women.
all over the world.
From all over
Isn't
the
that
world.
awesome?
What was the inspiration behind that?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the first piece of it, because I'm so honest, is the business aspect. Okay. For me, I want to put myself out there, and I want people to know what I have to offer because I want to grow my business. So to be able to do that and connect with 20 women that are publicizing me in front of their audience and their clientele is the first piece. But honestly, I don't do anything unless I love it. Nobody tells me what to do.
How much of a blast was that?
Oh my gosh.
I love talking to people.
So I had 3 women from Ireland, 1 from Australia, and people from all over the United States.
Wow.
And it was so much fun. And what's the most exciting part about this journey with these 20 successful business, we've got successful speakers that get paid. We've got successful authors. We've got social media experts. Everything that you could imagine, mindset, patterns, doctors, like a psychologist. I covered it all.
I love it.
And I think for me, the best part about it was I connected with women. I'm here today because of that. So I went through and I chose with my heart women that lived a purpose and did what they loved. And I asked, and some said no, they're too busy, life is life. I had maybe 10 say no, and I wanted 20 and I hit 20. And then now I get to, for free, because I do believe you need to know your value, but I also like to give back. It's just in my blood, being a philanthropist my whole life, my parents, me, that I'm giving this out for free. So all you have to do is go to yourjourneytothetop.com, sign up, and you start getting emails every day with these interviews. And not just the interview, but every speaker, every person I interviewed is giving you a tool to use for your business.
Nice.
Yeah.
So go to yourjourneytothetop.com, and we're about 3 days in to the interview series. So, but if you sign up now, will you get the previous emails, or will you just start getting them on day 3?
So you'll get tomorrow. If you sign up now, you'll get day 4.
Oh, great.
Tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
And then at the end of the series, you'll have an opportunity to go back and catch up with anything you missed.
Perfect. That's great. And it was really fun to be interviewed. We talked about using video to grow your brand.
Yes.
So that was super fun. So thanks for allowing me to be a part of that.
It was wonderful.
And how do people work with you if they're interested in your? They love your style. They feel like they would be a good fit for you, because that's what it's all about, right? It's about fit. How would they work with you?
So you can find me on Facebook. I have a business page as well as a personal page under Galit Ventura-Rozen. And you can also find me at Galit Empowering and then the letter U.com. So GalitEmpoweringYou.com.
So perfect.
I'm on all the social
are?
media. I got it all covered.
And you love Facebook Live as well, don't you?
Yes.
You're a fan? How often do you go live?
It's just a feeling. So it could go every day and it could go once a week. It's just about my experiences and what I want to share, because I'm so genuine in the moment. They're not scripted.
Right.
When I just jump on, I'll be getting ready to go somewhere or be in the car. So if I have an experience that I feel like women can resonate with, I want them to know they're not alone in their business or in their personal life. So I'll just jump on.
Which is great fun. Do you get a good response when you jump on?
I do.
Yeah.
For me, I'm one of those people, as long as I can affect one person, I'm happy. And there's always someone that says, that's exactly how I'm feeling today. Thank you so much. And then I'm good. I'm like, okay, I can take the rest of the day off.
That's awesome. To know that you're inspiring women and uplifting women, I think we need more of that in today's society.
Thank you.
Galit, you've been great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
This was great. It was finally nice to connect in person, right? So we'll have to see what more we can do together.
For sure. We're both Vegas girls. We love our city.
I know. We are very fortunate to have been a part of this community for so long, 30 years, 20 years. I mean,
and I love Las Vegas. I love the people of Las Vegas.
I really do too.
So as much as I do the social media and the global, I still will continue to do stuff locally. So we'll do something.
Good. As soon as you have a workshop, let us know, and we'll let the Small Biz Power community know.
I will.
Thanks, Galit. And speaking of ways to up-level your business, I wanted to let you know about another opportunity coming up. And I think Galit just spoke. Did you just speak at NABO?
I'm actually speaking on May 23rd.
You're speaking on May 23rd.
And you've got your coffee.
Yes,
I'm going to come and see you.
So May 10th, and I'll try to make it May 23rd. That would be great.
Yeah.
So NABO is the National Association of Women Business Owners, and they have a chapter here in Southern Nevada. And I've been paired up on a panel with some amazing women. I'm not sure what I'm doing there, but there's Ruth Furman, who was here tonight. Alon Ventura says great job. By the way,
my brother.
Is that your brother? Okay.
Yes.
Did I say his name right?
You
yeah.
did.
Okay. So anyway, I've been paired up with Ruth Furman. She is a PR maven from Image Words Communications. She's a regular on the Small Biz Power show. She's usually in the audience. I think she was here for a short while tonight. So I'm looking forward to having her on the panel. And then Danielle Ford, who is a creative video strategist at danielleford.com. She's amazing. Got a ton of insight. She's also a marketing strategist. So we're going to be talking about dynamic marketing strategies to up-level your business, and that is on May 10th. It's the Coffee and Conversations event sponsored by NABO. If you want more information, you can go to their website. You can Google NABO, N-A-W-B-O. Google that, or go to their Facebook page, which I believe is facebook.com/NABOSNV. So check that out and RSVP for that event, and I hope to see you guys there. It would be great. I also wanted to make sure that you knew that Small Biz Power is also a podcast. So if you don't have time to sit and enjoy your glass or wine glass of water or wine glass of actual wine, John Nunemaker says he's very proud of you, by the way.
That's my guy.
Is that your guy?
Yeah.
It's very nice. I'm glad he watched. But again, if you don't have time to watch the show live here on Facebook, you can download it on the go and listen while you work out or while you're driving in your car on iTunes and Stitcher, because Small Biz Power is now a podcast. Those are the very, very lengthy links. But if you just go to iTunes and Google, or search for Google, that's what you do on iTunes. No, you search on iTunes for Small Biz Power. The podcast will come up and you can subscribe and you'll get alerted when there are new episodes, or same thing with Stitcher. While you're there, it'd be nice if you left us a good review. You know why? Because that gives us a little bit more visibility, and that gives my guests like Galit more exposure, which is why we're here. So that would be awesome too if you have the time. My next show airs May 17th. Again, we do every other week here, Small Biz Power, at 7:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And my guest is a fellow member of the Duct Tape Marketing Network. Her name is Juliet Schmerler, and she is the owner of Spark Tank Franchise Marketing. We're going to talk about the challenges of marketing a franchise and some of the solutions that she and her business have come up with to make that easier so that you can help grow your franchise. So if you are a franchisor or a franchisee, you won't want to miss that episode. So I hope you tune in just a couple of weeks to Small Biz Power right here on Facebook Live. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks to my guest, Galit. Have a great evening, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Cheers.